Hi. So, I wanted to come on here and share some ideas that I've had recently. Um, we've been talking about a few different things on this channel, but I have been consuming a lot of political content, a lot of around like labor unions. I really like the YouTube channel More Perfect Union. And I work in childcare, so I've just been thinking a lot about our world and our systems and how things work and how they could be better and how they're so bad. Um, and I was thinking a lot about child-free people because my relationship with children and whether I want them changes every day. And it's really strange and complicated because I love kids, and I had always envisioned myself pregnant and becoming a mother eventually. But these days, it's more and more difficult to stay connected to that vision, to that dream. I love it and I want it, but sometimes I really don't, especially working with kids, and even more so with the state of our world. And I don't like to base my life based off of what's happening around me. I don't like to base my dreams off of the realities of the world because reality is always changing and shifting, and I think that we deserve more than that to have our dreams be dictated by society, and really not by society but by a few people in power. But I wanted to come on here today because I had this thought the other day as I was having a conversation, I think between me, my dad, and my sister, and I had said something along the lines of the people who are probably more likely to carry out this revolution, and more likely maybe this class revolution that we've all been feeling like we're on the brink of for a long time now, are probably child-free people. Because I think that having an attachment to this world, like having a child, really makes you be a lot more cautious. And I think it's what's prevented us from going to the lengths that we have gone in the past as part of the masses to create change. I think that with the growing movement of people being child-free, with the growing difficulties in finding a partner, and with birth rates declining in a lot of major countries, I think that it is possible that subconsciously, or maybe consciously, we are being prepared for revolution, and like the actors and the people who will carry that revolution out, the soldiers, I think that they may show up in the form of child-free people, especially if you're child-free and still struggling to have stability yourself because you don't have much to lose. Me, myself, when I think about what I would be willing to sacrifice and what I would be willing to do for this world, for this planet, if I end up not having children and my nephews don't need me, then, and my parents don't need me, and we got to a point of revolution, I don't see why I wouldn't dedicate myself to the cause. You know what I mean? And I know that that's not everybody's story, but especially if it becomes harder and harder to fulfill the dreams that I have for myself and for this world, and if it becomes clear that it's going to require that level of sacrifice, I don't see why I wouldn't do it, because I don't know what attachments I have that are keeping me to this planet beyond family, and all of the family that I have are adults beyond my little nephews, and they have their mother. So those are just things I'm thinking about, and I wonder what other people who are child-free think as well. Like, could you imagine if you stay child-free and you stay kind of unattached, and especially if you aren't making it to those points of fulfillment that you desire, if the revolution really does come along and it requires your physical presence do you think that you would be able to show up in that way because you don't have anyone here that really needs you? Because if a lot of people think that that is the case, and I think that we know exactly who we have to fight for us and to help kind of carry out this movement that needs to happen, that is going to happen eventually, because this world is becoming hospitable. Not literally, though, with climate change, but not literally, but because of the systems that we have that don't work. So, yeah, people always say, who's going to fight this revolution? Who's going to fight this war? It's probably going to be the child-free people. And as someone who's child-free right now and is really unsure about whether I'll ever even get the chance to have children, just because of how scary things are right now and uncertain, I would be willing to do that for people, to do that for the children that are alive, and for the people, for the mothers and the fathers who have to stay and protect and care for their kids, and for the elderly. I'd be willing to do that. It's hard to say that because I don't want to even imagine that anybody needs to lose their life, or needs to do anything drastic or violent. But this world is violent, and revolution often comes at a cost. And I just imagine that with the growing numbers of child-free people and dissatisfied people, if you want your life to have some type of purpose and for there to be some type of meaning or point to what you ended up doing on this planet, if you don't get to accomplish your dreams and you don't get to carry on your legacy through children, revolution is kind of the next step. So that's just what I've been thinking about, and I'm curious to know what you guys are thinking about that.